Hey, it's a blessing to have you here today, and it's a blessing to be here today. It's been a while, so I'm excited to share today's topic. Today we're going to talk about service, and specifically within our families and our wives. We're going to read the passage from John chapter 13, verses 2 through 15. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's get into it. During supper, when the devil had already put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going back to God, rose from supper. He laid aside his outer garments, and taking a towel, tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with a towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, do you wash my feet?" Jesus answered him, "What am I doing you do not understand now, but afterward you will understand." Peter said to him, "You shall never wash my feet." Jesus answered him, "If I do not wash you, you have no share with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head." Jesus said to him, "The one who has bathed does not need to wash except for his feet, but is completely clean. And you are clean, but not every one of you." For he knew who was to betray him. That was why he said, "Not all of you are clean." When he had washed their feet and put on his outer garments and resumed his place, he said to them, "Do you understand what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that you should also do just as I have done to you." So here Jesus gives us an example of how we should treat others, and specifically to our wives. We can take the analogy here where Christ is the head of the church, and we are the church. So also, as men, we are the head of the family, and our wives are just like the church. Ephesians 5:25, it says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her." That's the kind of attitude that we have towards our wives and our children and our families. So I feel that the best verse from this passage that we read in John chapter 13, verses 2 through 15, is verse 14. So let's read it again and let's see what it's all about. "If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet." Here Christ, he sets the example. He sets the example of how we should treat our wives. We should love them no matter what, and we should serve them. Jesus sets the example here. He says, "If I then," he says, "if I do it, then you should do it as well." There's a command to obey here, to do as Christ does. As he's our teacher and he's our example, that's the attitude that we should have towards our families and our wives. There's an application to make here, is to serve our wives no matter what. Washing feet is not very pleasant. It's dirty work. Nobody wants to do it. But sometimes, as men, we have to do that. We have to take that burden. We have to make that sacrifice and wash our wives' feet. Do all the dirty work. Do the things that nobody else wants to do. As heads of the household, this is an attitude that we should adopt. So if we apply this to our family lives, who is he speaking to here? Well, he's speaking to me. As head of my family, he's speaking to me. If you're head of the family, he's speaking to you. And what is he saying here? We should serve. We should do the dirty work, the work that nobody wants to do. We should give ourselves up for our wives and our families. That's the point here, that we have to do it just like Christ has done it for the church. When should we do this? We should do it always and every time we have an opportunity. And why should we do it? Because we want to follow Jesus' example. There's going to be incredible blessings in all of this. There's going to be great fulfillment. In the moment, it seems unpleasant, but then if we continue to do that, we're going to start seeing the fruits and the peace that God will give us if we serve our families. So let's take a moment and reflect on this and serve our wives, serve our families, put our selfish ways and our selfish desires aside for a moment and serve our families. Are you head of a household? Are you a father? Are you a husband? What do you think about all of this? Put in the comments below. Please like and subscribe so that you don't miss any other upcoming content, and it will be a great blessing to my life, and I hope that my content will be a great blessing for your life. Thank you for watching Verscapes, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.